Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for another afternoon, another breaking Bitcoin market update. Of course, today is Friday, February 15th, 2019. Guys, we're almost to the weekend. It's so close. We could taste it, man. Oh, so close to the weekend, guys. Of course, I'm Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at cryptocurrency.com. Here to break down the markets for you guys. Again, hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic on this lovely Friday. The snow is clearing up. Everything looks really nice outside. I might even go for a stroll today. Take the daughter out in the stroller. And go face what was once previously the Arctic tundra of the Midwest United States. Anyways, guys, as always, if you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions, sarcastic remarks, opinions, death threats, make sure to leave them in the comments section or in the chat box. Be happy to take your requests. All right, guys, today's going to be a little, I don't want to say whack-a-noodle, but today's going to be a little bit of a thinger. Still not sure. I talked about talking about something yesterday. Not yet ready, or I haven't yet got the A-OK to discuss it yet. So I think it's important. I want to bring that topic up, but just leave you guys with that continued cliffhanger. All right, so let's get into... I tried to think about if I had any major topics. Obviously, the big thing that everybody's kind of talking about right now is the only, I guess the big thing that's on everybody's mind, the big thing that's on everybody's Twitter feed, everything right now is going to be JPM, the JPMorgan coin. And, you know, this is just, it's funny is kind of what it is, but it's serious at the same time. Obviously, we know the reason that it's funny is because we can go back in time and say, oh my God, Jamie Dimon was so negative about cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, he was buying Bitcoin up in the back alleys, making shady deals. Of course, I mean, of course these guys do. This is not anything new, man. Control over information, control over what the masses know has always been one of the strongest elements and points of control. That's why the invention of the printing press was so revolutionary. That's why the invention of the internet was so revolutionary, and that's why the invention of Bitcoin is so revolutionary. It's the ability. We have real world problems that technology solves. I know that there's a lot of people out there who are very pessimistic, who look around the world today and they think that things are getting worse. They think that there are many things that are very concerning in today's modern time. You know, politics is an absolute shamble. It seems like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That seems to be a common refrain that I hear. A lot of people are worried about global warming or global climate change or climate crisis or whatever you guys want to call it. And although my political opinions and my philosophical opinions will probably differ from a majority of the people out there, that's absolutely fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. The reality of the situation is that human beings do face real world problems, and the real world problems that I've tended to focus on as a student of history, as a student of philosophy, or should I say, I guess the trend that I have noticed, the thing that keeps me optimistic overall, okay? In my opinion, there are two basic personality types, right? There's cheerful pessimists and melancholy optimists, right? Cheerful pessimists are people that, in general, believe that when you die, you die. They're very, I guess, conflicted on the existence of an afterlife, for example. I think that's the big existential question that really underpins a lot of humanity, or a lot of an individual's motivations, drives, passions, goals, career choices, things of that nature, how they handle interpersonal relationships, for example. You know, it's kind of this overarching thing. Like, do you believe there's a purpose to life? Do you believe that your existence has an overarching purpose and its significance? Do you believe that life has value, that life has meaning? Or are you very ambivalent about that whole thing? And you think that, hey, it's a possibility that, you know, when you die, you're just snuffed out, you're just a candle blowing in the wind, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Now, I do philosophically tend to lean toward that. However, what I've noticed is that in my experience, there's two main kinds of people. There are people that hold that as a deep-rooted philosophical belief. Now, of course, this isn't everybody, because some people do take that and then just get existentially depressed and go into chaotic ambivalent what's the word I'm looking for? Misanthropy, for example. And then there's people like me who are ambivalent about life's overall purpose. And but at the same time are intelligent and students of history and students of philosophy, and see that regardless of all that, the overarching story of mankind is one of progress and positive growth. That mankind continues to advance over time. That although things do seem bad, that we do continue to get better. That humanity continues to deal with problems. The problem is, I think, the overarching problem is that we have some significant issues that we've yet to, or that we're getting closer and closer and closer to solving, but they've been substantial issues that we've faced for a long time. Problems of, hierarchy, for example. Now, there's nothing wrong with hierarchy. Anytime you're going to assign value to things, you need to have hierarchy. There are things that are going to be more valuable than others. There are people that are going to be more skilled than other people. There are people that are going to be more intelligent than other people. This is an unavoidable aspect of human existence. But I do understand the interplay, for example, between the right wing and the left wing, because the right wing typically stands for hierarchy and the necessity of that. And the left wing, to quote Jordan Peterson, typically stands for representation of those who are underrepresented or repressed by hierarchy, because there are always going to be people that get left out in the cold. Whenever you have hierarchy, whenever you have value, whenever you have more people that are more intelligent or more capable or more wealthy than other people, for example, you're always going to get people who get the short end of the stick. It's unavoidable. It's just a built-in component of sociology. So ideally, we would want to construct a society that can have hierarchy, yet at the same time try to do the best that it can for those people that don't do well in a hierarchical system. So anyways, and then you have the melancholy optimists, the people who are like, yeah, for sure, man, going to heaven when I die, or there's overarching purpose, and I know that for sure, and I'm positive on the inside. But they look around the world and they're like, oh my God, climate change, global warming, nuclear chaos, everything is going down. Putin, Trump and Russia collusion, everything, regardless of what, and I lean more, I'm a libertarian. I'm actually, I lean more toward anarchy. But in the true sense of the word, meaning that anarchy doesn't mean no rules; it means no rulers. So I truly do believe in the philosophical underpinnings of cryptocurrency, in internet technology, in network communication, in spreading information out. Now, I do personally, truly believe in hierarchy and capitalism. So even though I don't really like labels, if you were to throw me in a box, I'd be an anarcho-capitalist. But anyways, so. So what's my overall arcing point with this? So the big problems that humanity has faced throughout, in my opinion, the big ones that we're dealing with right now, are control over information. And this is how we get, and centralization and obviously statism. So I'm an anti-statist. I think that humanity would be much better off without the state. I think that human beings can rule themselves. I don't believe in rulers. I do believe in rules. And the problem with instituting a system like that is that we need to knock out a few of humanity's underpinning problems first, which is the ability to network effectively across vast distances of space, the ability to share information freely, and the ability to transact and have an economy freely, free of government manipulation and control. Ideally, and of course, an underpinning part of that is having a currency that is resistant to government attack, that is not dependent upon government. So this is why I'm so passionate about Bitcoin. This is why I'm so passionate about Bitcoin, because that is Bitcoin's purported purpose. Bitcoin's purported purpose is to emancipate the world from economic slavery. All right. Let's take, what is Ethereum's purported purpose? Okay, to be the world's supercomputer. All right, to be the world's global decentralized supercomputer. That's a great goal. That's great. That's awesome and everything, for example. But it's not, in my opinion, as important as relieving mankind of a multiple millennial old burden of centralization, statism, reliance upon central authority, reliance upon physical threats of violence, for example, because that's how the state enforces their edicts. The only way that the state can get things done is by taking money from people. It's very fun. It's hilarious, dude. Like, for example, it's hilarious, man. Like, regardless of how you feel, again, I don't want to alienate anybody, because if you lean toward the left, you're absolutely welcome here. In fact, I appreciate your comments, opinions, concerns, questions, thoughts. And I enjoy having debates and conversations with people who differ from me politically, because that's how we get things done, is through negotiation, through open engagement and debate. And ideally, I think that's why everybody should study philosophy, so that they can understand so that they can understand how to properly construct an argument, how to avoid logical fallacies, how to maintain, ideally, a neutral mentality when approaching topics. Either your idea is right or wrong. You shouldn't get personally invested in it, because your overarching concern should be your growth and advancement, and if that's all taken care of, the growth and advancement of the human society around you. But for example, so something that, and I know this is going to be controversial, but if you're an American citizen, and something that I know that the world is paying attention to, is this Green New Deal, all right, by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, all right, the shining new star of the Democratic Party. Here's the thing, man. I am not against, regardless of how you feel about climate change, I am not against mankind overall moving towards sustainable energy and moving toward protecting the environment more. I think those are noble goals. I think that's fantastic. However, what we need to understand is that, and again, I listened to the Peter Schiff podcast recently. I'm really a big fan of Peter Schiff, and he surmises this fairly well, but with a little bit of a slur. So sometimes he's difficult to listen to because he is, I don't know, he's just old or wet-brained or something like that. But anyways, but the reality of the situation is that she says this is going to institute economic prosperity. It's not. It's not. To retrofit the entire American economy for sustainable energy is going to be a massive sacrifice. We're already mega in a hole with debt drying up, with quantitative easing, with inflation of the dollar. The amount of money that it's going to cost to do what she wants to do, whether or not it's a noble goal or not, is not going to usher in economic prosperity anytime in the near future. In fact, it's going to require a massive economic sacrifice, very similar to the economic sacrifice that America had to undergo to make it through World War II. During World War II, many women, for example, left the home and joined the workforce. Food was rationed, supplies were rationed, everything went toward the war effort. And Americans collectively had to tighten their belts and go without. Workloads were increased, vacation was cut. And we have to understand that when you want to bring something in good, generally you do have to make a sacrifice. Anything worth striving for requires sacrifice. So, there's a lot of things that concern me about this Green New Deal. Not because I don't think that approaching renewable and sustainable energy is good, but because people are not acknowledging that instituting this is going to require economic sacrifice in a time when society is so fractured. So many people, like when I remember, like, society is different from when I grew up. And I'm sorry for going on this long rant and tangent, but I just wanted to talk about this because I think this is important for people to think about. People are not acknowledging the economic sacrifice that is going to be necessary to bring something like this in, whether or not it's a good thing. I just would prefer people to be philosophically honest about what things are actually going to look like. And again, one thing that I'm really concerned about is that, and I've been concerned about this for a while, is that the push toward environmentalism, not everybody, again, environmentalism is a noble goal, and I'm with anybody who wants to be an environmentalist. In fact, that's how again, guys, remember, my major in college was entrepreneurial and diversified agriculture. I used to be a super greenie, man. I really did. I wanted to change the world, I wanted to go into sustainable construction. I went into food production, obviously, but did I blow my account or something? No, man. No, I just wanted to kind of have a rant. Let's see here. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I looked at the chat, lost my train of thought. So one thing I'm massively concerned about is giving the government any more power. Yeah, because if you put the government in charge of retrofitting America's economy, you're taking power away from the capitalists who actually make the world a better place, and you're putting power and control in the hands of government, who only know how to decree things by fiat, by authority. So, JPMorgan coin, guys. JPMorgan coin. The thing about JPMorgan coin is that if JPMorgan coin is successful, guys, you guys can probably kiss ZERP goodbye. All right. I think I just figured out why you were low on subscribers. You know, if JPMorgan coin is successful, then you know it's purporting to do everything that Ripple's purporting to do, man. You know, and who's to say? I mean, what do you think's going to be? What do you think's going to be completely? What do you think's going to be adopted better? You know, Ripple or JPMorgan coin? You know, backing institutionalization, institutional investment. So anyways, we'll watch this development. It's pretty interesting. Again, I'm not going to get deep into the speculation on JPMorgan coin of what will or won't happen. Just based on the face of it. I mean, I will be looking to pick up a position in JPM when it comes out. Because again, guys, the reason that I do all this, okay, philosophically, supporter of Bitcoin. You know, I'll be a supporter of Bitcoin philosophically and do what I need to do for the community. But at the end of the day, I need to pay my bills. I pay my bills in fiat right now. And professionally, I'm a trader, as well as running my business. I got a couple mining operations as well, but passive investments, sources of income. But ideally, I mean, what I put most of my time and energy into on a daily basis is trading. So, you know, anything that's going to be lucrative in my opinion, is going to be on my list of things to do. All right, guys. So, thank you so much for bearing with me. Getting over to the news and stats, of course, there's 23 hours left in the giveaway, guys. 23 hours left, 381 total entrants so far, guys. You guys only have less than 1 day, less than 24 hours to get your entries in for the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading giveaway. Three spots, 1 month apiece. You're going to get access to everything that a premium subscriber gets. You know, I had an interesting conversation with a potential subscriber last night, and just so you guys know, it did make me think. You know, it did make me think because you know, we had some what's the word I'm looking for? Marketers help us out with designing our business model. Again, you know, not a professional marketer by trade, trader by trade. And anyways, I'm not really sure where I want to go with that, but just gave me some insights, man. And, you know, it brought up one of those things like, how do you value yourself as a group? How do you value yourself, you know, like being somebody who's self-employed and runs my own business, you know, commonly, like, especially for the premium subscribers, the members of the trading group, you know, I'm very blessed every day to wake up and receive DMs like, hey, man, thank you so much for that call you made the other day. You know, we did so well on it. Thank you so much for everything that you're helping us out with, man. Thank you for teaching us about risk management, things of this nature. You know, it's really, I don't know, like, you know, without getting all frilly on you guys, like that stuff really makes my day. Like when I see a comment in the show, when I see a comment on the YouTube, when I get a DM, when I get a text message that says, hey man, you know, you've helped me out so much. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You know, it really does warm my heart. And I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate that. You know, I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the show. It's really been a ride, man. And I really appreciate this. It's really been awesome, man. Oh, but it brings up the question, like, you know, like I got the question last night, like, hey man, like, you know, it's $150 a month to join your trading group. Like, don't you think that's too expensive? And, you know, it brings up an honest question, like, okay, how do I value myself as a content creator, as a producer, as somebody who provides education, and resources and help? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like it's very humbling and difficult to value yourself and set a price on something. But at the end of the day, I you know, ask the question like, hey, do you think like $150 is worth it to join your group? Like, yeah, like in fact, I think giving it away at that price, honestly. And again, you can feel free to disagree with me. I might be completely wrong, but I do know that something that we'll be adding is the testimonials page here pretty soon. Scott will be working on that here pretty soon. And, you know, I just see the DMs that I get and people are like, hey man, it's humbling to have to value yourself, guys. So if you guys aren't experienced or familiar with that, just it's humbling and difficult. All right, let's see here. Hey, you're welcome, Faz. You guys should have gotten crypto.com, Monaco. We got in that last night, man, right before it popped. Woo! Okay, so that's about it for that. Let's go over to the charts. Okay, and I think that's maybe I will go over that. So we just closed week 2 out. Let's see if it's going to let me shoot. Kerp. Oh man. Maybe if I can do it this way. Nick Crypto, Justin in my misery. I have about 3.5 BTC worth of shitcoins, more than 20. Wait for Moon or sell and sit in BTC? Serious question, not a joke, bro. Listen, man, I feel very, I can't answer that question for you, man. I really can't. That would be it'd be providing financial advice for a specific condition, which I don't do. I have no idea what your investment strategy is like. I have no idea what your time frame is. I have no idea what your economic situation's like. I have no idea what your financial situation's like. I'll just I'll answer that question the best that I can without that, which isn't directly helpful, and I'll give you what I would do and then what my partner would do. So my partner had a portfolio that was heavily weighted in altcoins. And it got dragged down pretty significantly in the bear market. He just, again, not his entire capital, but he had an allocation of his portfolio that was dedicated to altcoin investments. And he didn't sell. He's got a long-term time frame. He's thinking 10, 15, 20 years out. He's very comfortable and patient. One of my good friends runs a crypto hedge fund down in the southwest of the United States. Same thing. They've dollar cost averaged all throughout the bear market. They're very comfortable doing what they're doing, and they manage millions of dollars. So, no issues there. And that's their personal investment thesis. That's not my investment thesis. I am a trader. I don't care. The only thing that I'm interested in holding on to as an investment personally is something like Bitcoin. Now, there are other things that I can look at as trades, which most people would call investments. But for me, that's 3 to 9 months, maybe 2 to 3 years. That's not necessarily an investment to me. An investment to me is something that I'm going to buy and hold generally for life. But, I've done my research and studies having traded the markets for quite a while now. And I do think that buying and holding and dollar cost averaging as applied to an investment strategy, I really think that stuff's for noobs. I really don't think that's just my personal opinion. And I know that others do that and are just fine. But and maybe it's because I do this for a living, so I'm able to actively monitor my positions more. But buying and holding investment strategy I've never liked it. I've never liked that approach. I've always seen that you could just make a whole lot more money by attempting to buy and sell, and trading the swings of markets. It ties up your capital less. You're less exposed to risk. You're able to sit in fiat more, or Bitcoin, or whatever it is that you want to sit in. I should front a political band called BitBomb. You'd go multi-platinum. Let's see here. So my personal approach, so it's hard to put myself in those shoes. What would I do if I had an investment that was like massively underwater? Okay, that hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I would probably have to lean toward what my partner has done and what my friends have done in that particular situation. So, for example, my partner had a again, as I talked about, an allocation of his portfolio in shitcoins. And what he did is just recently, actually, started significantly dollar cost averaging down, like significantly so. Like, he bought pretty much near the top on a lot of altcoins. And obviously the price plummeted over the last year. And then just recently, like over the last few months, began like significantly doubling down on his positions, like, or quadrupling down to bring his average cost way down. And then, obviously he was lucky enough to catch some of these recent pumps in altcoins. And he ended up getting out at a net profit. At a fairly significant net profit, obviously. Now, that took a lot of time, energy, patience, gritting of teeth, active management of positions for him to do. But because of that, he's been able to pretty much wipe the losses of 2018 completely off his books, and now has come out of 2018 with a net profit, which not a lot of crypto traders can say, except for potentially active traders and individuals who didn't try to buy every goddamn dip. Hashtag tone base. Now, Bitcoin technical analysis says, look at the chart. What is to keep institutions from creating their own crypto and bypassing all of these existing coins? Absolutely nothing. The issue is adoption. The issue is adoption, centralization, and obviously what the market wants. So if JPMorgan coin comes out and says, hey, we're absolutely centralized, we're not run off a typical blockchain, there's no mining, we created all the coins, we're in charge of distribution. Did I say JPMorgan coin or Ripple? I can't. So it's like I'm saying the same thing. But anyways, and if society decides that they want to adopt that, and decide that they don't, and that nobody wants to use Bitcoin, for example, or a decentralized cryptocurrency, well, then obviously that asset will valuate, and Bitcoin will probably depreciate. So nothing, this is a free world, man. Nothing's to stop them. All right. Man, a lot of chat today. Do I have any idea about Fibbo circles? No, not really my specialty, man. I mean, I know about them. I don't actively apply. I don't actively apply any Fibonacci charting tools except for your common Fibonacci retracement and extension in my personal charting. Now, one of our other traders, Alex, he's quite a fan of FibFans. Excuse me. Pure Infinite Love. Hey, shout out to you, man. Anne Marie Rennie. I'd like to think that same thing too. By Chainlink. I should go to Anarchapulco. I want to. Daniel De Leon says MAGA. Not quite, but hey. I think we can all get along. Dr. Faz says, one of the first steps to get to your society, we need direct democracy, not representative democracy like we have now. With direct democracy, you force the government to do what the people want through massive amounts of referendums. Then as government gets weaker and people get smarter, we can slowly emancipate people. He says, step 1, money out of politics. Step 2, direct democracy. Step 3, anarcho-capitalism and Bitcoin. And maybe we can have a bigger debate about this. I'm inclined to disagree with you on step 1. Actually, I take Aristotle and Plato's view on this, that I'm actually kind of terrified of direct democracy, honestly, because I see how easily manipulative, how easily malleable people's thoughts, emotions, and opinions are. Right? I would love to live in a society where I can trust everybody around me to have a vote in what goes down with our government. But unfortunately, the masses are very easy to sway. Give them bread and sport. To quote a Roman emperor. And so, unfortunately, direct democracy terrifies me. I would rather live in a society where I don't have the right to vote, but we have good governance, than in a society where I do have the right to vote, but because I have the right to vote, everybody else has the right to vote, and we get easily manipulated by big data, big government, fluoride in the water, whatever you want to call it, and then people vote in socialism, and then we all starve to death. And we've seen that experiment play out throughout the entire 20th century. Throughout Europe, not Europe, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Throughout the world, doesn't matter what country you want to try socialism in. Doesn't work. People die. People starve. So I actually prefer representative democracy, just like the founders of America. The founders of America were smart people, man. Like a republic rather than a democracy is, in my personal opinion, a better form of government. But that's just my personal opinion. I know that people are terrified of the common theme in America right now, and again, I think this is brought on by misunderstanding of socialist doctrine, but potentially, and I'm willing to accept the fact that I'm potentially wrong, but People are taught nowadays to be terrified of corporations and businesses and to trust in government to like regulate the evil capitalists, just, you know, like the crap we used to see back in the 18th century. That's garbage. Corporations, businesses cannot do anything without humankind's without somebody's consent. They can't force you to buy a good or service. Government can. Government can enforce their fiat through a gun. That's the entire point. That's why. Yeah. But I'm willing to have a further talk about this, man. Ron says, Justin, I would argue that coming out of the Great Depression was more painful than World War II. Yeah, for the middle class, yes, absolutely. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate the sub, man. Alex Philippe says, you realize that JPM and XRP have different functions and are set to complement each other. No, I actually don't know that. I'm not, I don't know exactly what's, how they're going to look or what their specifications are going to be. Hey, no problem, Nick. I'm 20 years old. If I retire by 40, I'm all right with that. Hell yeah, man. I'm 30 years old. I'm looking to retire when I'm 45, 50. No homo. Love you too, brother. Josh says, price is bound by RSI and a flag right now. Once it closes above the 50 level, we could be in a nice run. Borgia asks, oh, hey, man, thanks for joining the trading group, by the way, man. Thank you. How to trade profitable alts Bitcoin if Bitcoin is still on a downtrend? How do you hedge or how do you calculate your positions so your portfolio value in USD is not overexposed to the BTC downside? Sit in fiat. Sit in USDT, or if you're on Bittrex, you can sit in USD. Excuse me, guys. Got something in my throat. It is quite difficult. It's quite difficult to trade shitcoins to BTC pairings and to constantly have to move in and out of Tether. You basically have to be sitting in Tether. You have to move to Bitcoin to initiate the trade. Now, you can automate all this, for example. It's a little bit more difficult to do, but you can. Let's see here. So you have to sit in Tether, you have to move to Bitcoin, you have to trade the altcoin pairing, you have to immediately move back to Tether to lock in your financial value. There's calculations to do this. You know, maybe we can talk in the DM and figure that out. Basically, the way that I've always approached it is thusly. The allocation of my portfolio that I have on Binance, for example, that I trade altcoins with, is for the purposes of accumulating more Bitcoin. The other trades that I make to Tether pairings and the other trades that I make to XBT pairings, because I generally always have my XBT in play, either either to the long side or the downside, because I have to stay neutral and preserve my capital. Whether that means that I'm equal long, equal short, doesn't matter. Whether I'm taking correlated assets, doesn't matter. Yeah. Generally, and again, there's multiple ways to hedge. You can always have your money net neutral. It's difficult to do this on BitMEX. You can do it on Deribit. You can't do it on Kraken. In general, the way that you would be net neutral is you would have the same amount of positions open long as you would have the same amount of positions open short. That would keep you neutral in the market, whichever way it went. Typically most people, I mean, the common referendum and what most people have been doing all year, similar to me, has been keeping the majority of their capital that they want to stake in XBT or they want to stake in BTC in a 1 to 2 to 5x short, pretty much through the bear market down. That's, if you've done that, you're sitting on much more Bitcoin and you're also sitting on much more USD than when you started the year off with. I would be inclined to think that it would go up, man. I would be inclined to think it goes up, Dr. Faz, but you know, it probably will move like a typical chart, up, down, and to the right. All right. So what, 45 minutes into the show? Let's do some technical analysis. Okay. So let's talk about what I've been doing. Same thing. Listen, guys, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Just slow walking its way down. Wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside, kicking out people at 150x leverage, getting them kicked. People at 25x leverage, really sweating hard, man. You know, in general, people putting on trades in this environment right now that aren't just net short from the top and comfortable in their shorts. People trying to put on positions in these areas are just getting wrecked, man. If you're trading on the 15-minute chart or the 30-minute chart, there's opportunities, man. But you got to realize, you just got to remember that, guys. If you enter into a trade, you need to be out of it in about 3 hours. All right, that's just as simple as that, guys. You enter into a trade and you're out of it in about 3 hours. Enter into a trade and you're out of it in about 3 hours, man. You know, trailing stop. That's the market environment that we're in. If you want to actively day trade, if you actively want to day trade Bitcoin, I mean, yeah, dude, there's some great trades, man. There's some great trades going on. You just have to capture them, man. As for putting in a positional, trade, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. I don't care if I miss a 5% movement. Doesn't matter to me. And to be just completely genuine, I put in a short position yesterday, right after the show. Put a stop at 3,600. Got hit last night. Generally, I don't trade with hard stops. I generally trade with mental stops. I think hard stops are a fee that brokers pay, that exchanges charge you for the cost of doing business. Now, this is not a position. All right, let's just be very clear with that. I did not call this as a position. I put this on the chart to kind of counter a bet with somebody that I was talking with last night, because they they counter traded me. We were talking and they're like, "Hey, so you went short with the stop at 3,600?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's potential it gets hit. We might get wicked up there, right?" I knew what I was doing was initially dangerous. That's why, I mean, my stop loss was less than like 1% away. And they're like, "All right, well, I'm going to go long." I'm like, "All right, we'll see what works." Wrecked. So, shout out to you, man. I love you, brother. I know you're probably watching the show. I love you, man. Okay, so for me, only positions that I'm in is still a small long on XRP-H19. Have not entered into a full position size. Let's see, just my initial get my feet wet position size. No position on Ethereum. I don't care. I don't care if I miss a 5-10% movement, man. This stuff is Wick City, baby. I don't play around with my money, dude. Everybody that's like, "Oh, you have to know which way the market's gonna go," dude. No, hell no, dude. All I gotta do is not get wrecked. Wrecked. I mean, come on, dude. Fuck that. Oh my God, dude. Just be patient. Wait for a trade to come to you, man. I'll tell you where the trades were. Okay, and then of course, still short on Tron from right here. I mean, it's been a good ride, man. It's been a good ride, and I'm not eager to get out of the ride, man. If price closes below the supportive trend line on TRX-H19, which really we want to keep our eye on, still keep an eye on Factum, by the way, guys. I think Factum looks nice. So if we go to TRX BTC and check out Spot, yeah, man, not super eager to get out of my position, man. You know, this looks really good. Now, you know, we close above this descending trend line, or we put in some really significant, oversold volume. But here's the 3-hour chart, man. And what do we see? We do get a buy signal right here. All right. So we had a nice little pop. But then what do we see? We see, okay, so let's do this. We have, okay, so charting from right here, we have a higher high and a lower high, but a higher high on our oscillator. What's that? Hidden bearish divergence down to the downside. Meow. I mean, look, time transformation has just nailed TRX, man. Just absolutely nailed TRX, man. You get the buy signal right here, right at the bottom of the market, man. Right after a natural volume, you got a natural volume signal to sell right at the top. You got to kind of do your own R on that. Dollar cost average here. You do get a little bit of hidden divergence. This would have put you over here. Probably would have got stopped out on this particular implementation of the trade. A natural volume right there, just for your last chance to get out of the trade if you want. Price continues to go down. Remember, without a significant change in sentiment or volume, the trend is unlikely to change. This gives you an opportunity here, here. So, so in general, how do I make sure to explain this really well? Okay, so when you're looking, sorry, Let me adjust my indicator here. Boom. Okay. So when you're looking to take a counter trend trade, you want other factors to really take that trade, right? So for example, you don't just buy on a buy signal, right? And that's not how I have the strategy set up. You want confluent factors. You want abnormal volume recently, preferably on the same bar. And you also want something like divergence as well to help implement your trade. Of course, you can also use price action analysis. So in these particular situations, with the exception of this baby right here, which would have given you a decent scalp if you could get out on one of these wicks, with none of these trades right here, would I have been taking any of these? Would I have taken any of these entry positions? Why? Because there's no abnormal volume to tell me to be in the trade. So with the exception of this one, which might have been a bad trade for me, it is what it is. It's all good. But what did I use? I used mine and Alex's wonderful analysis of price action and the fact that, oh, look at that. Let's actually go to let's look at a higher time frame. Let's look at the daily. Let's look at the daily trend. Look at that. Daily trend enters bearish. Look at that. You're short. If the daily trend is bearish, if the daily Heikinashi's red, man, you're looking to go short. You're not looking to go long. And I'm not looking to get out of that until I see some unnatural volume, until I see a significant change in sentiment, until we break a trend line, or until the trend shifts bullish, man. It's pretty simple, man. Trade with the trend. Look at this. Trend turns bullish. Guess what? We're going long. All right. You get the opportunity to get out of the bullish trade here. You get a natural volume at the top. You get some divergence right here. However you want to get out of it, man. We've got a falling wedge. We get buy signals right along there, man. We get no unnatural volume, but you do get regular bullish divergence here. But the trend is bearish, so you need confirmations to be taking a counter trend trade. And then the bearish trend ends. You can enter into, you're looking for longs in this area right here. You're looking for shorts right here, and then you're looking for longs right here. And guess what? You're out at the top. I mean, it's just trade in the direction of the trend, guys. When you're looking to counter trend trade, again, that's going to be your best optimum entry point, but you want to get like multiple levels of confluence. So anyways, I'm just going to continue to ride TRX to the downside, man. After a parabolic movement, generally after a parabolic movement, you get a 50% retrace. So parabolic movement started here, massive uptrend. Where should we go? Ideally 528 in this range right here. Ideally, this is where we come back and test. This is where we had significant consolidation. If we do look at the volume profile, we can see a huge high volume node coming in right there. Oh, man. Oh. I got a bunch of dislikes. Hey, it's all good, man. Damn. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. All I can do is be me. All I can do is be me, guys. Okay. So that's the outlook for Tron. Looking at Bitcoin right now, man. Let's actually go check out. Let's look at spot. So BTC to Bitstamp. Typically, we're going to get better results if we look at BTC USDT, but whatever. VPSV, where's our target ranges for the near term? Yeah, man. Listen, continual descending points of control. Descending points of control. We go a little flat right here, and overall we're just flat, man. Not an area where I really want to get into a position. Excuse me. The area, again, we talked about the liquidity grab to the downside. That's absolutely what happened. That was just yesterday, I believe we were talking about that. So equidistant lows, and then liquidity grab to the downside. Everybody says, oh, if we go below that price, we're going to crash. We don't really see liquidity. We haven't really seen a massive liquidity play to the upside, except for just in general taking out shorts that have their stop placed above swing highs. So looking at this, obviously for the daily, for the intraday trading session, we've got resistance coming in at our point of control around 35.78. That's not going to help us out, but just in general. So looking at let's actually look at the spot price for a long-term view. My bad. So in general, if we take a longer term view and then we'll go down, we'll actually go look at the BitMEX chart to get a little bit more clear indications. I'm not really looking to do anything until we close below the 21 exponential moving average or above the 55 exponential moving average, man. We haven't been able to close above the 55 in the entire a recent massive plunge down. I mean, the last time we poked our head above it was right before the decline, man. So in my mind, still looking to put on shorts from the area between the 55 exponential moving average and the resistance zone. Not really excited about taking a positional long until we're able to start clearing out resistance. We close above the weekly equilibrium block. We close above potentially the 100 exponential moving average. We're well above. We're opening and closing above the 55, above the descending trend line. All that stuff needs to happen, man. All that stuff needs to happen, and then we'll see how high this baby can go. The next area, if we do look at something like we have our 200 exponential moving average on the daily time frame coming in around 5,000. We also have, let's go throw on volume profile. There we go. Okay. We don't really have any high volume nodes coming in around till like 5,500, which would make the area between the 100 exponential moving average and the 100 exponential moving average about a 20% variance range. Excellent opportunities to look to take profits because then we start running into some excuse me, blah, 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 I can speak English, some significant resistance coming in up upon that area. Take the 200 simple moving average off on the daily time frame. Weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, again, nothing's really changed, sandwiched in between the 200 exponential and the 200 simple. Again, we're just range bound until that breaks, guys, and we're looking to trade the range. All right. Weekly time frame, weekly analysis. I mean, nothing super impressive, man. We haven't had a full 50% bearish retrace of our last bullish candle yet. So we haven't completely invalidated this candle yet. This could still just be a reaction from the top. Nothing very deterministic to take a position off, guys, and there doesn't need to be. Looking at the weekly fissure. The fissure is still trending below the trigger line. We haven't had a confirmed crossover yet. What's interesting is that this week, so 2 weeks ago, actually gave us the confirmed weekly cross under right there, right? We got the confirmed weekly cross under 2 weeks ago. And even with the pump, we have not had a weekly fissure crossover yet to the upside. A little bit of hidden divergence there, but that's fairly weak, so we won't look at that. Looking at the 3-day chart, 3-day chart price is still being suppressed by the 21 exponential moving average down below that breaker. There's the 3-day breaker right there, 35.65, closing below that as well, and rejecting from it even on a wicking basis. Now, the 3-day fissure is now crossing above the neutral line as price is descending. Indicating that there's still a little bit of fundamental strength in price. However, honestly, the fissure is just catching up with this big bullish pump. So we do need to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Also, we did see on the 3-day that we had 9 days of potential buying indication. As you can see right there on the fissure, it's telling you, hey, asshole, pay attention to these 3 days. Things are important, as well as a buy signal right here on the 3-day. So no strong indication to sell, no divergence on the 3-day chart. Fissure is crossing above the 3-day zero line, so we'll see if we'll see how the 3-day interacts with this 3-day breaker at 35.67. We'll also see how the 3-day interacts with the 21 exponential moving average. Really, in my opinion, what I'm keeping my eye on the most is the daily time frame. I want to see how price interacts with the 21 exponential moving average. It's getting very dangerously close to just closing below it, guys. And if that does happen, I think that we're going to go lower, and I'll be entering into a positional short. And looking to add to my position as we continue to go down. If we do look at the big term outlets, the big term prospects for Bitcoin, actually it's going to be more clear on the XBT chart, but on the Bitstamp chart, man, 3390 is going to be our next level of resistance. Not expecting that level to hold as support. Not expecting that level to hold as support. The bulls bought it up here. The bulls bought it up back here. The bulls are not going to buy back up this level, man. The next level that the bulls could potentially buy back up is 32.39. The bulls bought it up here. The bulls have not bought it up a second time. And of course, the tertiary area where we could see the bulls buy back up price is 31.22 in that variance range. But ultimately, and as I talked about, when price approaches 3,000 and we do go below it, again, now I have the infamous $1 bet for will Bitcoin go down below 3,000. I'd rather be in a positional short. Why? Because you have no idea how far price is going to go down below 3,000, guys. You just don't. You want to be in a short. You don't want to be trying to knife catch along. All right. Hey, MF Con, we'll take a look at waves if we get a chance, man. Thanks so much, man. I highly appreciate it. It's more like 52 bored people. Must be bots. Hey, thank you so much. My wife doesn't believe in me, and Marcus didn't. Could be one person with several fake accounts. Hey, what's going on, Jay Constant? Da Vinci, you know, I don't have any, I don't, this isn't a show where I cast aspersions on people, man. I don't think that anybody, I don't think that there's any person, you know, I don't think there's any crypto oracle. He doesn't have any additional information than anybody else would. I mean, what he's like most famous for is saying that Bitcoin would go up really high, no specific price, and saying that Mt. Gox would fail. All right. Anybody who had any experience in traditional markets could have told you that. Mt. Gox was shady as all get out. You should not have had your money on the exchange. It was clear to see the end coming. The end was nigh. And yeah, it didn't take a lot. It didn't take a lot of wisdom or brain power to say that, hey, Bitcoin could be one day more valuable than it is right now. Now, it's not to say he's a bad person. I think he seems like an intelligent man. I'd be happy to have them on the show or have a conversation with him. But I rely on my own. My own analysis, man. Hey, thanks, Texas Blues. I highly appreciate that, man. Litecoin for the win. What's my opinion about BTT? It seems like the whole world is really bullish on it. We'll take a look for technical analysis purposes. Hey, thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I really appreciate that. ETH pays for my rent. Bitcoin pays for the Benz. LTC pays for the jet. Hey, Alex Valieve, thanks so much for the 589, man. Highly appreciate that, man. Let's take a gander then at XRP BTC. Let's take a look at it, man. Oh, come on, man. We're going to have to replace Tron. Boom. All right, let's go to the weekly on ZERP. All right. Okay, so really my opinion on ZERP hasn't changed too much, man. Looking at the weekly time frame, I was looking, as I said a couple days ago, I was really hoping that I could get a cheeky buy at the 55 exponential moving average if the weekly ends up closing below the 21. The 21, it's been bought up here. It got bought up here a little bit. It's not getting bought up very much here. So actually, I might be lucky and get my cheeky little buy. Again, the two areas that I'm targeting for low scalps on XRP BTC are going to be the 55 exponential moving average. Just to be quite clear, that level is coming out in at 80.37. Sats, and then 75.10 is the area that I'd also like to keep my eye on. So that means that if the weekly does close below 21 exponential moving average, I'll be in a short until such time as we do hit until we get a positive reaction off of support or resistance. So weekly time frame starting to look a little gnarly. We're in this again. This is an area where we should be getting a bounce. If we just look at market structure, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on our 7th week of downside. This is an area where we should potentially be getting a bounce. The Fisher is below the zero line, not getting any positive reactions of a crossover yet, which of course it's going to lag behind. But we're not oversold on the weekly time frame yet. We're also not having a positive bullish crossover. 3-day time frame looks a little bit more positive. The 3-day time frame did close below the 21 exponential moving average, currently finding support on the 55, which got bought up here, got bought up here, got bought up here. The thing is, man, as long as you hover along. Hey, Mr. Decipher X, thanks so much for the 10 brother. I'm gonna assume thanks for the 10 euro. I think that's a euro, man. Is that a GBP? I don't know. I'm a dumb American, man, but I highly appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the support, my good dude. Hopefully your workload isn't killing you, man. I'm eager for you to get back to the trading group. Anyways, 3-day time frame on XRP. We are hitting along that 55 exponential moving average. Now, this is how I approach these levels. If you approach support on low momentum and low volatility, and then you just hang out there, two things can happen. The most likely thing is that you break support. The second thing that can also happen is that you do reverse from there. But here's the thing: you need to see signs of a reversal, man. GBP, thanks so much for the 10 pounds, man. My good dude, dumb American coming in here, man. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding. I know it's pounds. Anyway. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Anyways, so when price just kind of hovers around support like that on low momentum, you can see a bounce, man. You can, but what you need to see, what you need to confirm that is that the trend needs to change. You need to put in some kind of crossover. You need to trade higher. You need to trade higher than either your candle body close or ideally your localist high, right? So ideally, this sucks because you got this big, massive takeout wick on the 3-day. But if you wanted to see a bullish reversal off support, you could go down to a lower time frame to catch it easier. But on the 3-day, I mean, you'd have to at least close higher than 83.96, for example. So what was the open of this candle? 83.79. You'd have to close at 83.79. You have to close above, man. Going down to the daily time frame on XRP BTC, bearish daily trend, man. Let me make sure that I've got the right settings for this bad boy. Input, use current chart resolution. Yes. So bearish daily trend, man. We had a couple days of reversal right here. Got the buy signal on the time transformer right here. Just got a confirmed daily cross under right now. It won't be confirmed until obviously the daily candle closes in about 4 hours and 52 minutes. And on the daily time frame, man, the daily time frame is starting to look gnarly as well. Kind of corresponding to what we're saying on the weekly time frame. Closing below the 21, the 55. The 21 is now below the 55. Closed below the 100 simple moving average. The 21 is about to close below the 100 exponential moving average. Sorry. The only daily support that we have is the 200. And look at the bounce that we got. Why are you not? There we go. Look at that weak bounce that we got, man. In the vicinity of the 200. I mean, we just got rejected from the 100, man. So price just getting squeezed. Not getting any confirmations of a reversal that I wanted us to, man. Why are you doing this to me? Thank you. Just not getting the nice bounce that I wanted us to see, man. So I was a little positive about this potentially taking a nice pop up right now, and it's still on the cards, but it's not looking good. I mean, again, the bulls have bought up this area once, twice, 3 times, man. And we haven't had some significant follow through. So on the daily time frame, we really can't be in the trade until the daily closes above 84.21, and then we can potentially take a short-term target at 8,600, and then see how price reacts to that level of resistance, as you can see coming in on the volume profile right there. So if the daily closes below the 200 exponential moving average, or really if it closes. I mean, this is actually an area where I might potentially begin looking for an XRP short, man. I had to hold Alex back from wanting to put on an XRP short, and luckily we avoided that. But maybe he should have held me back from trying to take a long on the same metrics, man. So it's all right. The last XRP H19 long is getting. You can see right here. This is a representation of my active trade, man. So here's my stop loss on XRP H19. If it hits this stop loss, then it'll be about a 1% loss. Not a big deal. And we might be in the vicinity where I might begin to look to open up a positional short, because again, daily time frame. What are our next downside targets? Ideally 7,500. I mean, that's 8 to 9%. That's almost 10% to the downside. And the other target, the other downside target is going to be the 55 exponential moving average, which gives us a nice about 3% to the downside right there. So unfortunately, man, everything's looking kind of bullish. So let's go to the short-term time frames. So we'll trade off the 3-hour right here. For Mr. XRP, what do we see? Time transformation is telling us absolutely nothing right here. We got rejected from the neutral zone right here. Very bullish signal. The Fisher is still below 0, so the Fisher is not telling us that we should be in a long position. If we look at what I like to do is when I'm trading on the 3-hour, I like to utilize the 8-hour trending time frame. Bearish 8-hour trend, not looking to take a long position yet. Oversold conditions. We have volume profile resistance right above us where we just got rejected from right here. So the bulls bought up this area on the 3-hour time frame once, twice, 3 times. And what are we doing now? We closed below and we wicked up for a confirmed kill, man. If this 3-hour candle closes below 83.41, that would be a confirmed kill. Hopefully you guys can see that through price action. The bulls bought this area up once, twice, 3 times. This becomes a 3-hour breaker. Price closes below the 3-hour breaker. Now it's confirmed. And look what just happened. On the current 3-hour candle, we wicked up and confirmed rejected from that breaker. So now, if you're trading price action, you have to close above that 3-hour candle, or you have to close above that line, that 3-hour breaker, to even be looking for a trade, man. And honestly, this is an area right now where you're putting on a short. Once this 3-hour candle closes, you're short, and your stop loss goes right here. That's just no brainer, man. So hopefully that's helpful, my man. That's actually a trade that I might be putting on here, actually. Let's see here. I'll take the low. Now, XRPH19 has not retested that area yet. VPVR would suggest the area of 84.23. So, kind of the similar thing. What you'd probably look for is you'd look to set some entries. Looks like we're going to get that test right now. Ideally, what you would want to do is if you wanted to be risky, you would scatter some. You would scatter some short entries right here. Look to catch one of those volatile wicks, and your stop loss would be right here, man. But I understood. Screen is frozen, just the sound. Oh, sorry, guys. Hey, thanks so much, by the way, Wolfburger, for the follow on Twitch, man. Highly appreciated. And let me take a break for just a second and thank all of our recent subscribers. Josh, Mike Pat. I guess that's it today, man. I guess the political talk didn't bring in a whole slew of new subscribers. That's fine. Scott's just going to yell at me later. But definitely living in the Matrix. Ha ha! Did anybody catch that? Okay. Okay. So, all right. Oh, I gotta. Hornet UK1, man. What's going on, dude? Being pretty active in the chat. I'll give you a shout out, man. Yes, the Earth is flat. Hell no. A lot. I can't digest all that, Hornet, my dude. But no, not long on. You know what? We took the BCHSV trade, man. That worked out pretty well. Caught the bottom on that, actually. Not too poorly. You guys can refer to the I actually posted that in the free signals on the Discord. All right, guys, it's 1:15, man. I gotta go. I'm gonna go refresh my water and take a quick break, and I'll be right back in about 2 minutes, guys. So don't go anywhere, man, because when we get back, I'll take some more requests, and we'll look at Ethereum, man. We'll break down Ethereum and talk about anything you guys want to talk about, right? So thank you so much for staying and supporting and watching, guys. Make sure to check out the website and get in on the giveaway if you have not yet, guys. Remember, there's only 22 hours left in the giveaway, man. He's not spamming. He's yelling moon. When moon, god damn it. All right, guys. I will be right back, and please enjoy the smooth, soothing tunes of Ryan Little West Coast while you wait. And we're back, guys. And we are back. All right. All right. Caribbean Crypto Show. Yes, you can run a Lightning node on a Raspberry Pi. Nick Crypto says, bro, you have 10K to invest. Time frame 1 year. Could only choose 3 coins. Where would I put that 10K? BitConnect. No, man. I mean, if I had 10K to invest and I had to choose 3 coins, I'm assuming that the limitations of this are to equidistantly like space them out to equal portfolio allocations. They would have to be. I mean, they'd have to be the three top, or at least in my opinion, the 3 with the most potential to grow. It'd probably have to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. Now, is that how I would personally manage that $10,000? No, it's not. But if that's the limitations that I'm being placed upon, gun to my head, locked room mystery. Yeah, I mean, duh. Okay. Bum 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 ba da da bum bum bum. All right, so let's look at the trades that we took last night. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Boom! Look at that. Boom. Boom. Do boom. Okay. Hopefully that's good. Let's do it like that. Interesting. For some reason, the YouTube event list is not working on this thingy. Anyways, guys, here's the live trades tracking sheet. So the trades, the recent altcoin trades, Theta, Salt, I let go at pretty much break even. Zem, Monaco, and SNT. So we'll take a look at SNT. And this was the original idea posted, guys, so if you guys recall, if we go back and look at something like the 30-minute time frame, we had plenty of opportunity. Pretty much we entered the trade once I saw Monaco poke its head up here on unnatural volume. That's when we entered the trade. That came across my scanner for unnatural volume. We entered into the trade. The original idea was, hey, guys, you can book your initial profits at 600, or you can leave a trailing stop with everything, man. The 3-hour chart for those who took their trailing stop. Again, I use 3 commas to execute pretty much all of my Binance trades because it allows me to do OCO orders, allows me to set a stop loss, trailing stop, trailing take profit, all of the wonderful stuff, man. If you're not using 3 commas and you're just trading on Binance, you are living. Oh shoot, you guys can't see. Here we go. Okay, so if we go to the 30-minute time frame, of course, we can see here. That Monaco pretty much poked its head above the resistance trend line that I had plotted out on unnatural volume. So as you can see, my indicator helped us out here. Poked its head above on unnatural volume right there, and I looked and took the trade. Now, when I see a candle like this, I get speculative about taking profits because big wick to the upside, and that's pretty much right where I wanted to take profits, right around 600. But you just run a trailing stop loss. You don't know how large that thing's going to go, and that thing popped up there. Now, I got wicked out last night. My trailing stop did hit in this territory right here. I actually believe it was 682, if I want to be completely correct, right? So still good trade for me. Excellent trade. Sell signal on the 3-hour time frame right here. You have unnatural volume on the prior candle. Excellent time to be out of the trade. And of course, baby comes crashing down. So that was a good trade, good opportunity, guys. Congratulations to everybody who took that one. Looking at Zem, actually, we were live yesterday when somebody pointed that beautiful baby trade out. We were right here at that point in time. Let's see, hold on. That's 9 to 12. So yeah, it was right pretty much after we were starting the show. We were right around actually this region right here. I said, fuck, man, that looks great, dude. I mean, you just got to buy and you got to set your trail. You got to set your stop loss right here and you got to go for the trade, man. And that baby popped up, gave us the nice size signal right here, unnatural volume, pretty much right at the top, obviously. Same thing, trailing stop loss. What were the, when I actually posted the signal, I posted that live while we were doing it. 1200, 1250, 1300, man. So hit 1250 real nicely, and then came down and hit 1200, which would have been take profit 1. That's how I execute trades. If you're not using a trailing stop loss, when you hit take profit 1, your stop loss goes to break even. When you hit take profit 2, your stop loss goes to take profit 1. And that's how you lock in and preserve your capital. You can also use that with the same. So say, for example, when price goes to take profit 1, you set a trailing stop loss with the same value away from your entry. When you hit take profit 2, your stop loss goes to take profit 1 with a trailing stop. I think that's probably the best way to execute trades. You can automate that if you want. There's lots of applications out there to do that, but 3 commas are going to be able to help you out. 3 commas is going to be able to help you out significantly in that fashion. Same if we go to S&T. S&T did pretty much the exact same thing. We have a descending trend line. What happened? We broke above it on unnatural volume right here, and you enter the trade. And my take profit targets, like, gosh darned it, man. Hit take profit 1, take profit 2, and missed take profit 3 by 1 frickin' Satoshi, man. But it's all right. Out of the trade at 553. Very, very, very nice trade right there. And actually, we had preempted this, man, because I had called for entry in the green box indicates the area that I said, hey, man, if we dip down, accumulate on these dips, man. But my initial entry was 512. 512 or 511. 511, sorry. You guys can see that right there. 511. So good trade, lots of pumping, man. And again, this is kind of the thing that you see, man. Like money, we see this is the cycle, man. You see Bitcoin and Ethereum and your big cap coins pump. Then after they pump, then after whether it's 5 to 7 to 10 days, after a while they kind of stall out. Then you're going to see your mid cap or your other large caps pump. Those pump for about 5, 10, 12 days. Then you see your mid caps pump that lasts about 5, 10, 12 days. And then you see your low caps, low sat coins pump. And that happens 5, 10, 12 days. After which, the entire market dumps and then the cycle repeats itself, man. This is how money moves throughout the crypto market. I don't trust that charlatan with his rings and his throne. Come on, man. Yeah, exactly, man. So, just understand, like, when we're talking about, like, take profit levels, they're just zones to use with your own judgment, man. When it comes down to actual execution of a trade, you have to use your own rubrics. Now, whether that's trailing stops, whether that's trailing take profits, I think trailing take profits, both of those things combined, you can do both of those things on 3 commas. Now, price coming back down and retesting the breakout zone. Not really eager to rebuy on S&T. Okay, so waves. Let's look at the daily time frame for waves, man. Daily time frame, you did get the buy signal right here on the time transformer indicator. You also get the buy signal right here, followed by regular divergence right here at the absolute bottom, man. So buy, you get regular divergence, you can double down. You get a natural volume on this candle indicating that potentially you should be looking to get out of the trade, as well as that was the initial take profit target that I had posted for waves. So this was an old trade for waves right here. Let's see what has happened in the interim, man. I'm sorry, guys. No, you made a Bitcoin trade. How low do you think it will go? I am not in a Bitcoin trade right now, but if I was going to, this would kind of be the time, man. As I said earlier, I'm not really interested in taking a strong directional position in Bitcoin until either the daily 21 or the daily 25 or the daily 55 breaks. However, if I were a ramblin' gamblin' man, which I tend to sometimes be, if we do look at Bitcoin on the hourly, man, we do have that nice descending trend line right there. And what are we coming up to? We're coming up to test it as well as the 21 exponential moving average. So potential scalp is on the table, but again, the risk to reward is absolutely not there, as well as where do you manage your risk? Do you manage your risk here or here? Nope, I don't think so. Not looking to take a position, man. Still not. Patiently waiting for my time to explode. All the hate is going to laugh as they go. Anyways. Waves in the daily time frame, don't really see any fresh indications to buy right now. Obviously getting the confirmed daily cross under right here on the Fisher and rejection from the neutral zone after this latest little pump. Let's see here. We don't really see any divergence. There was no bearish continuation divergence right here. Just regular confluence. So typically, if we were to see a lower high with a higher low, with a higher high on the indicator, that would be hidden bearish divergence. But don't really see that. Going down to the 3-hour chart, which is where I tend to do a lot of my trading. Make sure that our trend is correct. We want to be looking at the 8-hour trend. All right, obviously, bearish 8-hour trend. You did get an indication to buy right here, but you didn't have any divergence or unnatural volume to really support that. So you could have taken the trade. Would have given you a nice little pop because that would have started flashing green, probably right about there. So you got a nice little 1 to 2% scalp on the table. Price falling back down below that. Pretty much the 3-hour. Do we have a 3-hour breaker right there? No, not really. No, not really. I mean, these breakers have already been tested and taken out, so we'd be talking about these breakers right here. So you had one here, you had resistance right here. Although you could make the argument that this has also been taken out with these tests right here. But yeah, that level was coming in right there, supported as tested as support, crashed through, retested as resistance, rejection. I guess your next breaker is going to be down here at 72.41. I wouldn't really expect this to hold as support, man. This doesn't really look overly amazing to me. On the day for the day trading aspect, again, you don't want to do this on the 15. You want to do this on the hourly, at least. So there's the potential there, man. You did have that breakout right here, and you've printed. The way that you traditionally do this, man, is you wait for the breakout of the trend line. Do you get positive indications to buy prior? Yes, you get the Fisher crossing above 0 as you're approaching the breakout line, sign of strength. You print 3 15-minute candles above. That's typically your indication to buy on a trend line break. But you just had no follow through, man. Price did come back. You can make the argument that we retested the breakout zone right here, but there's just been no follow through, man. So ideally, the way that you would want to look at this is that you really don't buy until you get a confirmed break now of the resistance line at 73.45. And then again, you're only putting in an initial target of about 1.11%. So for an altcoin trade, that's really not worth my time, especially because I can't leverage up. But again, you can enter and set your trailing stop. Again, managing risk in that particular situation. Again, just the way you do it, man. Taking the breakout trade instead of typically what you would want to do is set your stop loss like right here when you break the trend. You set your stop loss down here below support. Since the R to R is not there for your first take profit target, you'd have to set your stop loss below the candle that actually breaks the resistance line on the hourly or the 2-hour chart. So if you get an hourly close above 74.35, your stop loss can go very tightly underneath the breakout candle. You can look to take profit at take profit 1, or use a trailing stop from your entry, and that will guarantee that you at least break even, or worst case have a very, very, very small loss. I do agree with you, Hornet UK. People generally cannot see market bottoms, but they generally also can't see market tops, and they also can't see continuation of bear trends, and they also can't see continuations of bull trends, man. But, you know, forgive me if I'm not obsessed with buying the bottom, man. All right, so yeah, I don't really see any indication to be in a waves trade right now, man. Again, you got that if 74.35 breaks, you know, that's the hourly breaker, and it's the 3-hour resistance level. I mean, you could potentially take a stab at the baby, but not really my dice, man. I'm good on the lower mid caps right now, man. God. Alrighty. There's wavy waves. And IOST. Somebody had asked for IOST. This looks like a good chart. Yep. And pretty much what I said, man. Be a little bit more logically consistent with this. Let's actually flesh this out. So that triangle ended up breaking a little bit to the downside. The arrow pointed right at that breaker right there. Again, typically, once you break, your stop loss goes below your most recent level of support. So in this case, your stop loss would have gone right there. And you would have been looking to take 3-to-1 take profit level, and potentially taking 50% of your trade out at 2-to-1. Right there, buddy. Right where you get the right where you get the 3-hour, right where you get the daily sell signal, man. And now you just hit that 3-to-1 take profit level, man. You've hit 1, 2, 3 of my take profit levels. Yep. And now you're at breakdown resistance, man. Now you're at breakdown resistance. So now I get very speculative about entering a trade, man. I mean, you've had about as good of a blue sky breakout. This isn't a blue sky breakout, excuse me. Blue sky breakout is above here. Really, I mean, you could call it that, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, man, I get very speculative about entering any kind of position here, man. You've already had a good 50% run, dude, right off the bottom, just as you should have been, looking at, man. The other area to enter this too, as well, would have been the break of the descending trend line, which you do get right here. And once this candle closes, you can enter, and your stop loss goes down here, and you'd be great, man. Trailing stop. Maybe you would have gotten kicked out right here. You didn't have really any strong indications to enter at this particular area right here on the Fisher, anyways. You could have been looking at a lower time frame, obviously. Bearish 8-hour trend. To get the strong sell signal right there. Let's see, yeah, man. I would have to posit. I would have to speculate that IOST is probably on the way down, man. Yeah, kind of the same thing. I mean, your 21 exponential moving average is above your 100 and your 55, and you're about to get the golden cross, 55 crossing above the 100, man. You've got that 200 exponential moving average overhead as your first significant area of resistance. But, again, you don't just take profit on these things, man. I mean, you can. That's a smart way to do it. But typically, when you're riding a strong trend like that, man, like, so let's see, entry here. Typically, when you're riding a strong trend like that, you use a 3.5 trailing stop loss. So on the 3-hour time frame or whatever time frame you desire to trade this on, man, you can see multiple areas where this would have had you much more actively in and out of the trade. For example, like you would have been out here after entering here. You would have been out here, for example. So you do have to use your own metrics for taking profit, of course. But if I had to posit a bet, man, I would say that most likely IOST is probably going to be on its way down or face some significant rejection at this level. Now, I could be wrong. Now, the area where you start, but again, you just you set your trailing stop and you go, man. And you set your trailing stop pursuant to your risk appetite, But would I want to enter into IOST right now? No, absolutely not. 3-hour time frame, you did get a buy indication right here, but no unnatural volume. You did get a little bit of hidden divergence right here. Which is typically a sign of strength, but price did reject a little bit, and now rejecting from that same level. I'm not a head and shoulders guy, but just looking at the market structure, man. Just looking at the market structure. Let's look at... Look at daily time frame, visible range. Yeah, man. You just ride that baby as far as she's going to go. If I had to place a bet, I would place the bet that price is going to move to the downside. This is my personal preference. But price action is not necessarily confirming that. That's just more intuition and seeing that we are coming up upon the massive breaker zone. This is the previous breakdown zone, right? So this is actually significant resistance. Now, we did touch resistance. We did form a higher low, respecting the daily 55 exponential moving average. And now we're coming back up to retest. So, congruently, if price is able to put in a higher low again and touch that resistance yet again, this resistance level coming in right around here, then, potentially you could even get a further breakout, man. Usually you'd want to wait. Usually for me, if I was looking to enter, you can speculatively enter now, I guess, and you place your stop loss down, I guess, almost 10%, honestly. So you have to adjust your position size to accord because we are talking about altcoins. So 10% is actually not a crazy stop loss when you're talking about altcoins. The only reason that's crazy is if you're not adjusting, your stop loss. Hey, what's going on, Delilah? Oh, shoot. Bitcoin pumping in 1 minute. And 59, 58, 57, 56, 55. I don't have the patience. Back to IOST. Yeah, man. Potentially, you could enter into the breakout upon 206. Set your stop loss below the candle that breaks 206, and look to see how high that thing rides. If you're already in the trade, man, just set a trailing stop and let that baby ride, dude. Slow, calm, patient, easy trading. What are the next areas that you should be keeping your eyes on for resistance? 256 potentially. And pretty much the zone between 283 and 300 as well. All right. Let's get back over here. Yes. Do what I want you to, TRX. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. It's getting pretty darn busy, isn't it? I guess one thing I can point out, this is basically what Da Vinci was talking about last night, is, well, depending on how you draw it. Yeah, you got to draw this really subjectively, but potentially, I guess if you draw it with a nice crayon right there, which you should be drawing your trend lines with, but basically he said, the rising pattern is broken, price is coming to the downside, and price has rejected from the ascending trend line, meaning that he thinks Ethereum is a short. Now, I would like to get some more upside targets out of Ethereum, man. I've already talked about this. Ethereum breaks this nice line right here, then I think we could see the levels of 128, 131, and 137, 140. I don't think we're going to get as high as like the ultimate target that I'd like to hit up here, 156, 160. If we do reject from here, then I'm going to be in a positional short. My downside targets are obviously $100, $89 to $92, $80.50, and then even lower. We've got some pretty significant low side targets right there. When is Kraken cryptocurrency token being released? Nah, man. Eli back, man. My day's been really good, man. My day's been great. About to get a lot better. Once I go eat some lunch, come back and keep looking for trading opportunities. Yeah. Take no action. Take no action. Hold the short. Take no action. Potentially, you could try to go for a long, man, but you just, all the shorts got wrecked right here. Really, take no action, man. It's nothing to be done, dude. Potentially, we're about to short this. Patience, Skywalker. Let the trade come to you. In your heart, you know it. You wanna short it to the ground. Everybody's saying JPMorgan coin and Ripple can exist in peace, but there's only room for one, potentially. Hey, man. bum, 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 bum. Else that I want to look at before I go? Not really. No, 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 no. Let's check in on. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Yeah, man. Time Transformer just doing yeoman's work for me, man. Anything else? Nah. That one sucks. Oh, well. Can't win them all. Horizontal breakout trades are risky, man. Just going to set a tight stop on this alt, and it's gone. Calm, patient, slow, steady trading, man. Micromanagement will get you wrecked. Couple great winners yesterday. Hey, Eli, thank you so much, man, for the $5 donation, my good friend. As always, highly appreciate you coming in the stream, my good dude. Yes, we will take a look at your baby. Take a look at your baby. What did we say yesterday? We said yesterday things actually looked a little bit more positive. There's actually some signs of life. Signs of life, baby. All right, let's look at the daily trend. All right, still got a daily bullish trend, dude. All right. Life might be good. All right, what did we talk about? We talked about this daily breaker right here. Talked about this daily breaker right here. Price had come up, broken through. Let's actually look at what's actually going on today. All right, price is retesting that breaker right there. Price is retesting the breaker right there. All right, so we're potentially still looking for a breakout potential. Has not actuated yet. We didn't get unnatural volume. We didn't get a natural volume right here. Of course, we did get the buy signal right here, but no unnatural volume and no divergence to really spike it. So see, when you see something like this, where you see sell signals and then you see unnatural volume and you see big wicks, sell, because price is most likely going down. It's just the way it works, man. The market moves, the market turns when there's significant volume and liquidity to move it to the other direction. Don't unfortunately see that right here, man. Things still potentially look positive, man. But I don't want to fill you full of false hope. Again, we got this pretty significant level of support and resistance there. What did we do? We looked at the 3-day, I thought. Or did we look at the weekly? Yeah, that's the one right there. That's the weekly breaker. My bad. I apologize. The weekly breaker. So we've got an overall bullish week, man. Still a bearish weekly trend. Whoa. Come on now. What are you doing? Where's the 21? Weekly exponential moving average. Well overhead, man. Overall price contraction on the weekly time frame. Now here's what's bad, man. Here's what is potentially bad. And you know, again, you can use several different levels. You can use the low, you can use the breaker, you can use this low, which is kind of your equidistant low. So potentially this would be your breaker, man. If you're using this as your breaker, then you're saying, all right, cool. If the weekly candle closes above this breaker, then all is well, and we can look to take profits in the resistance zone right here, which would have been your previous weekly breaker, 34.28 or 38.43, which is your current resistance zone right now. However, if you're using this as your weekly breaker, then you're saying potentially that if the weekly closes below it, then you're looking at confirmed rejection, and you're most likely going further down because then this level has been invalidated. Going to the 3-day chart, looking for a little bit of backup. Help us out, 3-day chart. I want to make this guy some money. All right, so using that, what did we use? Let's go back and make sure that we're being valid here. Whoa, this is the breaker that I would use again on the weekly time frame. So let's go down to the 3-day. 3-day does look like we have closed above the breaker and are retesting it. If the 3-day holds, then again, potentially you can be in a trade with your stop loss below support and your take profit at the 21 exponential moving average. Let me be very, very clear here that this is not really a coin. I'm just trying to point out the positives, man. It doesn't really look good. I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the daily 21, looking at the daily, getting rejection from the daily 21 exponential moving average, holding that same weekly breaker level. Got the buy signal over here on the daily, but look at what the time transformer is doing, tightening up. If we don't get a nice rally above the 21 exponential moving average, then the daily will cross under and probably and confirm that we should be in a downtrend, because, you know, poking its head briefly above the neutral line and then coming right back down, fairly bearish sign. Short-term trading, going to the 3-hour time frame. I love this liquidity, dude. Well, you had a stab down on high volume, but you had bearish divergence right here. Regular bearish divergence, price reversed, coming back down to the 3-hour. 21 exponential moving average. You do still currently have the 3-hour upward momentum right now, because you've captured the 3-hour 21 exponential moving average and are currently holding that as support. You had a pretty volatile stab down here that didn't really do anything on high volume, and it got bought up, man. It got bought up, but this level's been bought up once, twice, 3, 4 times now. So this level is getting pretty weak, and that's the weekly breaker level that needs to hold, man. So Dr. Fast says, I have no idea, but I think all markets have now made their higher low and we're headed lower from here. Potentially, yeah, man. Man, 3 minutes left in the show and I got 3 requests, guys. Sorry, I'll tell you what. Cannon Man and Ahmed Marie, if you guys tune in tomorrow, I'll look at BTT, CMT, and CGC. All right, I'll even write those down, man. Let me pull open the... There it is. Sorry. Not wanting to on. There we go. CGC, MT, and BTT. Sorry, we couldn't get time to get to them today, guys. Hey, thanks, Nick Crypto. Be good, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Cannon Man. I appreciate the support, my dude. All right, guys, that's we're winding down, man. 1 minute left in the show. I want to give a big thank you, man. Over almost 600 people watching the show today, man. Highly appreciated. You guys are absolutely fantastic. You guys are all just excellent, man. Just good people, man. We have the best people in here, dude. The best of the best of the best. Yes, sir. Okay, so make sure that you guys listen, man. I mean, we don't do this all the time, dude. We do not do these giveaways a lot, guys. And I'm not this, I'm not trying to hype it. I'm giving stuff away for free, man. Giving stuff away for free, man. Like, there's 22 hours left in the giveaway. We have 381 entrants so far. We're giving away 3 spots to the premium trading group. Everybody gets 1 month of access. All 3 winners will get 1 month of free access to the trading group. Get access to everything that regular subscribers get. You can log in and participate in this giveaway using any of your existing social media accounts, whether that's Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Discus, don't even know what that is, but heck, we got it linked to our Twitter, whatever, man. So make sure you guys go participate in that, man. I will be doing the giveaway. Yeah, so I'll be doing the giveaway live on air tomorrow. You guys will see me pull it. Make sure that it's not. Razman457 says, "Can you start a subs only Snapchat?" I could, man. Me and Scott were talking about setting up a Snapchat. The problem is, man, you know, me and Scott do so much, dude. Like, we manage the website, we manage all the subscribers, we actively trade. We're working on automated trading. You know, I design strategies and indicators. I also have to monitor the markets. I have to make all my own personal trades, as well as the company managed portfolio, as well as post signals, as well as shoot videos, as well as automatically update everybody. I mean, we're just so busy all the time, dude. Like, whew, man. I mean, it's a great undertaking, and it's great and fantastic to work with all these people. And slowly over time, we'll get everything automated and get all the wheels greased and everything. But right now, man, super underwater. So opening up new social media accounts, like, man, we used to be super active on Steemit. We used to be super active on Facebook, but we've fallen off because we're doing so much in the Discord all the time, man. So hopefully, soon we'll get maybe we'll bring some more people on the team. Again, the people that we have on the team right now, we've got devs, and we've got shut the hell up, man. Just a few nudes each morning, man. Yeah, just to get you guys all jacked up, ready to go trade, man. Yeah, man. So opening up new social media accounts, probably gonna have to pause. But hey, you know what I mean? You know what, man? Maybe you could hit one of our analysts up for that. I don't know if they'd be down. They're young guys. They kind of live on the wild side. Anyways, guys, so that's that. If you guys, of course, if this is your guys' first time to the show, and you appreciate the content and you appreciate the news and you appreciate the knowledge that we try to spread on this channel, highly appreciate it if you give us a subscription, click that notification bell so you never miss an episode, and also give us those thumbs up. It does help us push us up in the rankings and helps get this information out in front of the eyeballs that I think desperately need to see it the most. If you'd like to support the stream in a more substantial way, please consider going over to our Twitch account, twitch.tv/KrakenCrypto. Give us a follow and a subscription on there. You can do it for free with Twitch Prime. Otherwise, you can do it for about $4.99 a month. Helps keep the show on the air, helps us keep the lights on around here. We appreciate the support. You can also check out a one-time donation on Patreon or by purchasing some merch off the Kraken Cryptocurrency merch store. I have no government papers or scientific papers to prove it, but I have been told by researchers that drinking your morning coffee out of the Kraken Cryptocurrency mug will make your trades 85% more successful and make your personal appearance 90% more attractive to the opposite sex or the same sex. No judgments here. It's whatever you guys are down on. Moving on forward from that, if you guys would like information on joining the premium trading group as well, that information is on the website at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. But right now, you guys can go participate in the giveaway. I think that once we get the giveaway taken care of, we will potentially look at offering free trials again. The reason that we stopped offering free trials was because we had a lot of other signal groups trying to leak our content. So, can't have that. Anyways, that's about it, man. Of course, I have been Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Shout out to the whole team, man. Also, shout out to proud supporters of the show, X42 Coin, Spectre Security. Well, I don't know if I can necessarily say that, but definitely I think I can potentially say that. Spectre Security Coin, Your Crypto Daily, Red Planet 32, and Johnny Boy Crypto, MMO Coin. And I always forget people, man. I always forget people. They're all really good people, though. Anyways, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully today's show has helped crack a cryptocurrency for you. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, sarcastic remarks, opinions, suggestions, or death threats, please leave them in the comment section down below or hit us up on the Discord. We're pretty easy to get a hold of, man. Until tomorrow, man, trade safely. Peace out.